Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday morning, 7 AM, and it is check-in time. However, I do like to practice 10-15 minutes off vacuums before I send across any photos. I like to do that every morning as a non-negotiable. So yeah, let's get cracking with that. Let's go and do some vacuums. So when I am practicing vacuums, I don't really have like a set routine or a set structure. I know a lot of guys like to do 10-second holds for 5 rounds and this and that and the next thing. I literally just do it till I can't do it anymore, till it starts to feel really, really uncomfortable. And I like to start leaning over like this. And I stand up straight. Then I go back to an angle. I will run that for another few rounds until I can't really hold any vacuums anymore. Then I'll hit around the posing, make sure I'm finished hydrating, and then I'll jump on a new one. So Tuesday is not the busiest of days, but it's busy with work, so I've got a good bit of work to get through, and then it's leg day. We are training legs today. We've got a client training with us today, so we've got Gary. That is one of my perks, by the way, on my elite coaching package. So if you sign up to my elite coaching package, you can actually have one in-person training session with me every single month. So yeah, if that's something that you fancy, guys, jump onto we have a new website, it's getting built just now. You'll be able to jump onto that, you'll be able to find out all the details, all the pricing and everything without actually inquiring first, so that's going to be good. One thing I want you to remember, guys, when you're taking your photos as well, is when you are checking in with a coach, if you have a coach, your coach's only tools and the coach's only data to make sure you're on point and to actually get your check-in done and make sure that you're moving towards your goal at an optimal pace. The only tools your coach has is your daily tracker to look at if you fill one in, and your pictures. So if your pictures are shite and your daily tracker's not filled in, you're paying somebody for a service that they can't give you. So if you are getting coached, remember that. Take as good quality photos as you can and fill in your tracker, because imagine you were the coach. You would want these details, wouldn't you? We're having to do this like an absolute amateur for the first time ever in a long time. I can't get my camera to work. I can't get my S Pen to work, so I'm having to actually press the button and then go and jump over here. And that's a wrap. Gives a little bit of a different look today, so I don't know if Cuba's going to be too happy with that, but it's all I can do, or I'm going to be here till 9 o'clock and I've got work to do and I've got food to eat, so the show must go on. But quite happy with those photos. Scale weight is up. It will come back down over the next couple of days, so I'm not too worried. The look is still good, so we move. It's now 7:20 AM. Usually I get my coffee a bit sooner than this. I do like a coffee in the morning before I eat anything. I like coffee fasted, so I will be having one still, even though it's a little bit later, in my mug. Don't know if you can see that. First call out. That was Emma got me that. But yeah, I like to have a coffee. So a little bit of knowledge for you guys. When you wake up in the morning and you're not hydrated, you're dehydrated, it's not really the best time to drink coffee. If you're an assisted guy or assisted girl and you use any kind of thyroid assistance, any T3s, T4s, you will impact the effectiveness of your thyroid medication by taking in any caffeine too soon afterwards. So I like to wait an hour. So usually what I do is I come downstairs, I'll get the thyroid in at about 6 o'clock, 6 AM, maybe even before at 6:15, and then I always wait until 7 at least before I have any caffeine. So usually I get my caffeine in about 7, get my first meal in about 8. That's still working for me really well just now. It means that I'm not too hungry through the day. I'm not going too long without food, but it also means I have plenty of time to get them in and get a training session in as well. So yeah, that's working for me just now. As as I start to get hungrier and appetite starts to pick up, I'll probably look to push my first meal out a bit more. Maybe even fast till 9, have my first meal at 9, next one at 11, train back at 12. And then that means when I come home from training at like 3:30, I've still got like 3 or 4 meals to get in, so the rest of my day should go pretty fast as well. Not that I'm trying to wish prep away, but I mean, if we can do, I know everybody says embrace the hunger, and I do embrace the hunger when it comes, but if I can do anything to kind of keep the hunger at bay, I will, because in the morning time, I tend to find that you can get through the morning time a bit easier. You know, you can have a coffee, you can go for your walks, you can get your work done. I don't really think about hunger too much in the morning. Later on in the day when I've not got an awful lot to do, that's when I start to feel the hunger. So I try and place most of my meals to that back end of the day. It's coffee time. I'm going to crack on with some check-ins, and I'll catch you at meal 1, guys, at 8 PM. 8 AM. Good morning. What's happening? Hope you're good, buddy. So, check-in this week now. We have had a good chunk of a scale weight increase this week. Microphone connected, and it's now time for meal number 1. So, meal number 1, I'll bring you a bit closer, will I? Meal number 1 is going to be, we've got 125 grams of cream of rice. I am using hot cereal bowl of Gains by Flavour Gang, courtesy of Cuba. Gave me a wee bag of this, and it's actually really nice. So what I like to do here is take around 30 grams, 33 grams to be precise. Not that anybody's counting. Then I like to use a little bit of ground jasmine rice. So this is literally just rice that I have put through the blender to make it essentially like cream of rice. That's another 30 grams, 33 grams in there, so that's 66 in total. And then we'll make up to the 100, you guessed it, with some baby rice. If it's good enough for babies, fucking good enough for me, guys. So pop that in there. I'm just looking for 100 G's. This meal is going to be 125 grams of cream of rice, 50 grams of whey protein, 150 grams of fruit, and 20 grams of nut butter. That is pretty much all that goes in this one. We have had a slight bit of a disaster in the microwave. So the baby rice doesn't get that hard, really. It doesn't get that stiff. Doesn't solidify. So you cook it a bit longer and it ends up fucking doing this. I do like strawberries in this one as well, so we're going to have a couple of strawberries too. A little bit of frozen fruit. I do like a mixture. It's now time! I do like to get this done fasted sometimes, but this morning I just didn't get around to it. But I always do it at least once a day. So for anybody who doesn't know what this is an inversion table. What this does is it decompresses my spine. So it basically opens up my vertebrae, my spine. It just decompresses it all, lets my discs breathe basically. It helps me with any back pain that I might have, and it also keeps me a little bit taller, which allows me to creep up into the next class for my classic weight cap as well. So I'm going to just do this for 10 minutes, and then I'm going to crack on, get another 2k steps in just now before I go to the gym. That way my day doesn't kind of run away from me. If anybody does decide to try one of these, the only advice I would give you is don't try to twist when you're upside down, and remember to come off nice and slowly. Again, doesn't always happen. In fact, it very rarely happens. However, I am recording this morning with the camera, and it's taking my attention away from the usual things that I do. So 20 grams of almond butter going in here. People ask me all the time which almond butter that I use, so I'm going to actually show you. I get it on Amazon. It's the only one that I use. It's just the best, really. I do like mine crunchy. So if you like it crunchy, guys, it's called Natural World Crunchy Almond Butter, and it's actually only like 14 quid, 15 quid. It's really good. Little tip though, if you do buy it, leave it in your cupboard upside down for a couple of weeks, and when you open it, the oil will be at the bottom and not at the top. Now, we have 150 grams of fruit going in here, and then I left room for 125 grams of rice checks, which for anybody who doesn't know, it's just a rice-based cereal. Macronutrients are the same off the rice, so you can get away with utilising some of it to give a bit of a different texture with your cream of rice meals. So that's us, 25 grams, that's how it now looks. And then a little dash of cinnamon, big dash of cinnamon, and then it's just the whey paste. So chocolate pistachio this one is, and I do like pistachio. That's my Italian heritage coming out. And then a little bit of salt from today's allowance. And we are good to go, guys. So I'm going to get this down the hatch, I'm going to finish off on my work block, and then I'm going to get ready for the gym. Big leg session today, so stay tuned.
Get right fixed up.
There's my man Gaz. That's us touchdown in Gym 64 Glen Office, guys. And we've just had the posing room recrafted in black. So we're about to have a look at our man Gaz. Many weeks out? 9, 10? 9 weeks out for our man Gaz. I'm just one single week behind him. I'm 10 weeks out, so it's good to be able to prep with your clients and actually share the process as well. So if you want to get your kit off, my man, we've actually got a decent little roster, well for me this year anyway. I've got 4 guys competing alongside me this year, so I'm looking forward to obviously sharing the stage with these guys. Right, so let's have front relaxed. Let me see your feet a touch closer. That's it. And remember, try and screw your knees out. Pull your boxers up a bit so they actually mimic like posing trunks. Up here.
I've got them dropped off.
Cool. Right, let's see it. You've definitely come in a good chunk, eh? Good, man. How are you feeling?
Good.
Keep my core turn.
So for this, you're going down a wee bit?
So a quarter turn, bud. No, you want to pretty much step inside your instep here. So just side on,
right. And
then whatever side you're trying to show, tuck the other toes into the instep. Yep. And then what you'll feel is you'll feel your knee sandwich against your hamstring. You feel it?
Right.
Use that knee to push the hamstring so that it pokes out. Don't bend this leg, keep that straight. I actually drive my heel into the ground so my quad flexes, and then push your hamstring with the other knee slightly. Flex your glute, bump, and then
That's a fucking shit.
just a rotation of the back toes. Like, your glutes will get better. Back shoulder, drop it a little bit. The back one, bud. Yeah, cool. So put this down so it's level. So see here, you're going like this.
Right.
You just want to go kind of level. You're just rotating. Don't actually lift. Better. And now you could close this gap here a little bit and bring this just at the elbow in a little bit, just to make it look less hollow. Cool. Perfect. Core turn again to the back. So I've noticed that you hold a bit of fat here.
Aye, I've noticed that.
That's the final spot, so we need to get off. So this is where I'm gauging.
Here, the inside, so that's coming in a wee bit.
Aye, that's coming, but this is where I'm gauging you each week.
Aye.
So I'm not looking really at the front anymore because your front's quite strong.
Right.
I'm looking at your front and I could have you ready in 4 weeks. 6
This
weeks.
is my weak point, my back.
Correct, aye. So this bit here, you still look 10 weeks out here, 9 weeks out here.
Right.
We don't look 9 weeks out here. So I'm gauging you by this.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So this is the part that we're always looking at. We always look at the weakest body part. But your weakest body part, being here, it's not that weak anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just final bits to come off. So let's get a flex on here. Again, you want to screw the ground under your feet, point your knees out slightly, slight bend in the knees. Flex glutes and hamstrings. That's it. Don't tuck them, but just flex them. And almost like you're trying to screw the ground back underneath your feet. And that'll switch your hamstrings on. There we go. Cool. And then relax. And then lean back slightly, chest up to the sky. There. Good. Perfect, man. And turn to the front.
Front.
Yeah, please, aye. Let's run a front double. It's a good shot, man. Front lat spread. Right, so on this one, instead of using your thumbs, right, what I want you to do is I want you to get your knuckles and actually put your knuckles in underneath your rib cage. So my ribs start here.
Right.
So I want my knuckles literally just underneath them and no more. Right? Right on your side. Then as you pull your lats forward, push your knuckles in hard into your waist to give that waist an illusion of being smaller.
Right.
This is your soft point. You've got ribs here, you've got your pelvis here. So the soft point in the middle, just push it in. Keep your the backs of your hand pointing up the way a little bit though. And then point your chest up to the sky as you pull your lats in. Good, have your hands at touch floor. That's it. Beautiful. That's all I want to see your lat spread, right? It's good. Money shot, side chest. So let's sit into this one a wee bit more, right? So again, on the instep, but on your calf this time. So this lead leg, put that one in the middle of this foot. That's it. Flex your calf. Then drive this leg across this leg. Use this knee to force the hamstring back so it sandwiches it out. And then just sit into it a little bit. So the majority of your weight should be on this leg. Look. This is just stabilising.
Right, okay.
Once you've got that there and it's set, flex the glute and then just bring yourself round. Beautiful, man. Really fucking good. Really good. It's a really good shot for you guys. Good. And then just use a most muscular. I'm not going to fuck you too much. Yeah. We've got legs just after this, so just the most, give me a most muscular. Good, man. Mind sit on the legs hard, eh? That's it. Better keep them on all the time. Good, man. Really good. Chuff the bits.
Here's a thing for you, I was going to ask you.
Go for it.
So see when you're trying to show your physique, right? I get why you're doing that with the legs pushing them out, right? But for me, to show how the size of my legs, I would want to go like that.
Right.
Right? Well, we've not went through that, you know what I mean? In that whole routine there. And also, when you're coming from the back, because my little calves are better than my top, right?
Yep.
So I would want to do it at some point, because I see guys when they're posing, they put their leg out like that.
Yep.
They get the hamstrings out, the calves out.
Yep.
And then they do the back.
Yep. So that's
But
what.
Sammy never really, I can't remember Sammy putting the back leg out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Aye, you'd probably have that coming. It's so basically in your rear relaxed shot, you have to stand like this.
Got to do it.
It's relaxed,
Right.
So you have to be relaxed. When they want to see hamstring and calf, they'll tell you. So they'll say, right, turn to the rear gentleman, face the rear curtain, and then they'll say back double bicep showing hamstring and calves.
Ah, right, okay.
When they do that, that's when your leg goes back, hamstring comes on, boom. Then they'll say back lat spread showing hamstring and calf. Same again. You can reset, other leg out, screw it in, get your glutes on, boom, boom. So do you want to practice that now?
Yeah, man.
Microphone's not turned off. Schoolboy error. Sorry guys. Microphone has been off. Right, okay, so they'll say to you, rear double bicep showing hamstring and calf. So you always want to set from the ground up. Okay, so get the foot back, set your calf, right, cool. Now, for your hamstring to go on, what I want you to imagine is that you're trying to do a hamstring curl with that leg. But your toes on the ground won't allow you to move.
Right.
But you want to initiate like you're trying to, and what you'll feel is your hip will probably go forward.
Yeah.
Just level it off a little bit. Screw it in a wee bit, almost, like you're pushing it to the side. You know what I mean? Right? Keep your weight evenly distributed between the 2 feet. Don't just have it all on this leg, or you'll struggle. Keep it evenly distributed. And then almost like you're trying to, when you go into your calf, like you're trying to screw the ground underneath like kind of like a dog.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to do. And you'll see your hamstring coming on. Right, it's on. It's on. Now a wee bit of squeeze through the glutes. Perfect. And then set the top. Right, but you need to chest up, lean back just a touch. Wee bit more. Wee bit more. There. Beautiful. It's a good shot. And then same with your lat spread, bud. To give you a wee bit more of an X-frame, screw your knees out slightly. So rather than having them so straight, kind of like point this one out to the side a wee bit, just gives you a bit more of that X-frame. Beautiful. Yeah, perfect. Good man, that shot's improved. Quite a lot actually. Brilliant. Cool. And then from in the front, if you want to show your quad like that, they'll say hitting abs and thighs.
Yep.
Abs and thighs is your shot for putting your toe forward. Boom. Boom. You wouldn't really hit a most muscular like that. Some folk do. You can if you want. I would just set it like this. Boom. And then you can go. to show them your leg. That's how you want to show your leg. Posing is all about you showing your strengths in your way.
Aye, yeah.
So hit the mandatory and then chuck your leg out whatever way you want, no problem. What you'll find though is you might see a bit more detail if you actually screw from the heel, there, rather than the toe. Big breathe out, expel all your air, crunch forward slightly, that's it. Beautiful, man. Look really good, bud.
Fucking, it's knackering, eh?
What, the posing?
Aye.
Aye.
Sweating and, I mean, I've only been doing it for about 5 minutes there.
I did say that. It's hard. It's hard. The posing's hard. Everybody thinks it's easy, but it's not.
So yeah, my week's not really moved much since I went away.
I know.
3.5 weeks.
I know, but that's...
It started going up at the start, remember?
Yeah, so it goes up because, one, you've got different scales. 2, you're on a vessel, so it's not accurate tracking. 3, different food. I mean, the macros are still the same, but you'll have had a travel day where you probably didn't eat very much, you probably weren't as hydrated. So when you don't drink as much water, you store more water. So because you've probably not drank as much on the day you've went travelling, I found that when I used to work offshore, on the days that I travelled, I struggled to get fully hydrated. And the reason for that was purely just because I was on a helicopter the majority of the day. I didn't want to be slashing all day. So I found that my weight jumped up as well and then leveled back out. We've got you home now though, so, and you're on point.
I'm in for 10 weeks now.
Aye, no worries at all, you're on point, man. So, that's guys at 9 weeks out. 9 weeks out from show number 1. We've got potential for the BPA, which is our show in Dundee. Potential for that, which we'll maybe be doing. Got another client doing that one as well. Just as a little warm-up. There's a little caveat to it this year though. Gary's first show, it's his first competitive season. So you don't want to go jumping into warm-up shows just to warm up. Not properly peaked. So we've got a conversation to have closer to the time. I reckon he'll be ready to peak. It's just first-time athletes running 3-4 back-to-back peaks over 5 weeks. It's not ideal, but again, we're wanting to make the most of the Scottish season for him. It's his first season, so yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it. So, I actually made a little mistake when I was speaking to you guys earlier regarding the session. It's actually lying hamstring curl rather than seated hamstring curl at the start of the session. However, the lying hamstring curl is busy at the moment, so we're just going to warm up with a bit of seated and then we'll get into it. That's us ready to start the session. Hamstrings are nice and warm. As I said, guys, about utilising a logbook properly, so just so you know how I'm doing it. I'm looking at my lying hamstring curl for today. I'm scrolling back to last week and I can see that I've done 56.5 for 11 reps for my top set. Now, my top set is anywhere between 10 and 12 and I hit 11. So I'm going to want to potentially take that same weight for a spin again today and hopefully box off the 12. But again, these feeder sets will dictate how far I actually take this set. Right now, I'm just going to get warm. Hamstrings are already super warm from doing the seated, so I'm only going to do one set probably as a feeder here. Now again, as I always say, your feeder sets are literally just there to feed your top set. Okay, so you're trying to get ready for your top set. Make sure that everything feels good. Make sure that everything is nice and aligned. The machine feels good. The loading feels good. There's no niggles. I only had to do 3 reps here. Everything felt amazing. So there was no point in me losing any more energy. So now I'm just going to go for my top set, which is going to be the 56.5. I do feel good today. I've got plenty of energy. I've got a good sleep last night. Last session I was feeling good as well. So I know that I'm in the same kind of environment, the same kind of setup today. So I'm gunning for that 12. Managed to actually get the 12 there, and as I was explaining at the start, I actually got 13, so today's been a really good day. So now I'll mark that down in my book that I managed to beat the rep range today, so 56.5 for 13, which means that now I'm outside of the rep range that I need to complete my set. So the loading goes up next week, simple as that. Don't chase loading only, but if you're smashing numbers like this and beating last week's sets by 2 reps, you need more loading, guys. That's leg curl, finito, done and dusted. Managed to progress all 3 sets this week, so that's fucking beautiful. Calories are coming down,
body fat's coming down, strength seems to be picking up or staying where it's supposed to be anyway, so that's good. It's inevitable, guys, that when you're dieting or prepping for anything, no matter what the reason is, if your scale weight's coming down, your strength will take a dip at some point, and that's okay. I try to explain to everybody, this is bodybuilding, it's not powerlifting. We don't need to be moving a fuck ton of weight. We just need to make sure that all the loading and intensity is on the muscle that we're trying to work. So we're into RDLs now. Let's fucking go, mate. So I always like to start my RDLs. Again, it's a movement that requires a lot of effort, always. You can't get sloppy at them really, or they stop kind of working what they're supposed to be working. So I like to warm up with 1 plate either side, 2 plates either side, and then depending on how I feel, I might do 1 single rep with 3 plates before I go up to 3.5 or whatever it is I'm going to be doing today. So again, time to warm up. Stick a plate on either side, guys. If you do want to level up your back training, your leg training, your RDLs, your hinges, remember, get a good quality set of straps, guys. Your grip will always fail before your back or your legs. Take note. Feeder sets will always be just feeder sets. So hopefully you can see as you watch through my training, I don't do an awful lot of warming up. 3 reps there is all I really needed. The loading feels super light. I feel super elastic, feel good. So we just go from there. Top set, fucking have it. I am shooting for 9. 9's the number I've got in my head. But as I said, it doesn't always go that way. So let's see. I'm feeling good. So key is to get a good soundtrack on. Right, but again, kind of based on how I felt today, I felt good, so looked for the progression and got it. But did it feel so good? I wouldn't have been chasing those numbers. So you might think that I've cheated the session today a little bit, because I've been speaking about it being a leg session, and now I'm about to go and do some lateral raises. But this session, legs B, is all about working on my weaknesses and bringing up my lagging body parts. That on the lower half for me is my hamstrings. So hamstrings gets the chunk of the workload for today's session. Hamstrings are torched now, so we're moving on to the other weaker body parts that I've got, which is everything upstairs, anything from the waist up. Right now, for the remainder of this session, we have 3 sets of dumbbell lateral raise, 3 sets of cable bicep curl, and then 3 sets of overhead extension for triceps. Time to get busy. So one of the key things I think everybody wants to try and remember when we're doing lateral raises is you want to be always leading from the elbow. See a lot of guys leading from the fist all the time, and you know when they're leading from the fist because their hand travels higher than their elbow. The dumbbell should never come above your elbow. You want to lead from the elbow. So imagine that this portion of your arm doesn't exist and you're just leading from this elbow. Always. It's the elbow that should lead the motion. A little bit of control on the way up, on the way down. Try and spend a brief second at the top, a brief second at the bottom. But always remember to lead from the elbows, guys. So that's something that I noticed as well, guys. If you feel like your appetite's getting the better of you and you're absolutely ravenous all the time, have a look at your activity levels and see how active you actually are, because I tend to find that the more bored you are and the less stuff you have to do, the more you'll focus on hunger and the more you'll think about your diet, the more you'll think about being hungry. Again, it's bodybuilding's a big mind game, isn't it? You just have to really be headstrong to get through it. And as long as you are, you're mid. So as you move into the last exercise of the day, it's actually an overhead tricep extension. Now usually I do this single arm so I can work unilaterally. However, this particular exercise has changed slightly and it's more so like an overhead press, an overhead tricep press. I like to use the Vulcan strap. Now, not obviously every gym will have one of these. So if you're not familiar with it and you haven't got one, you can get one on Amazon. I'm not affiliated with Vulcan by any means, shape or form. It's just a lovely strap that you can get your hands in. I like to, when I'm training my triceps, whether I'm training in a downward plane of motion or an upward plane of motion, I like to just drive with the meaty part of my hand and not actually have to focus on any gripping techniques at all. I think it just takes a lot of your concentration away from the actual grip and puts it onto the triceps. So that's why I like to use this. When we are doing this movement, a couple of cues, couple of cues that you want to remember is that the upper portion of your arm should stay completely static and you should only hinge at the elbow. It's an isolation movement at the end of the day. And isolation, we know, means that only one single muscle and one single joint should be moving. Another couple of things you want to remember as well when you're doing an overhead tricep movement is that you're trying to really challenge the muscle in its stretched position, which is when the muscle's fully stretched basically, so behind the head. Now, because this is the last exercise and we are really trying to torch the tricep in its stretched position, I always like to try and force an extra little bit of stretch at the back. So I allow my arms to find their natural sticking point and then I'll push an extra maybe ½ inch myself and actually hard force that stretch just to get that little bit extra of lengthening on the muscle just before I take it back up into a shortened position, and I feel like I get more out of it that way. So try it and let me know what you think. Look, my arm looked quite big there. So today's session is done and D-U-S-T-E-D, done and dusted. Post-workout food time. Now I always bring my post-workout food to the gym. One, you never ever, and I don't care how close you stay to the gym, you never know what trouble you're going to end up in on the way home. And this is one of the most important meals of the day, if not the most important, because the goal for this meal is to get right back into the muscle stores and replenish the glycogen that we've just used in the training session as quickly as we possibly can. So again, everything is the same: chicken, rice, a bit kimchi and some banana. So let's get it in. I always sit here for 5-10 minutes, gives me time to eat, chill fully, reply to any work messages that I've missed when I've been in the gym, then I can set off, go and collect the wee man from school. So hope you enjoyed the session, hope you found some golden nuggets in there, and like I say every week guys, if there's anything in particular you want to see, anything new, anything different, let me know in the comments and I'll catch it for you next time. Peace out. I had planned on running a little bit more of the day onto this episode, but after looking back at the data on my PC after this gym session, I'm not going to run any more. My plan was to keep all YouTube episodes between 20 and 30 minutes, just because any longer than 30 minutes I think will start to get boring. Okay, hopefully you guys found plenty of value in the posing session with my man Gary. Hopefully you found plenty of value in the training session. If you found it helpful guys, let me know in the comments. Please drop me a like, subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date with the rest of the content that's going to be dropping out. But tomorrow I'm going to be filming a little bit of rest day. Let you guys see what I get up to on a rest day. Got a haircut tomorrow, shaving the body tomorrow, got a dentist appointment, get some composite fixed on my tooth. So yeah, it'll be a fun day. Got a call with Dara as well, so we'll be recording that. So yeah, looking forward to recording tomorrow as well. So peace out. Thank you very much guys for watching.